Hello there, and this is our fourth and final run-up into our stages. My name is Durrant, and I'm a vocal and performance coach. So what are these stages, in case you've landed on this video and not seen anything else? Well, stage one is getting competent in what you're doing. Stage two is getting confident and getting good at that at a pretty good level. Stage three is when you're choosing to lay all of that good aside and go towards greatness and mastery. So is there anything beyond greatness and mastery? Maybe. What on earth is behind great mastery? Surely that's the top of the tree. No, there's one more. Artistry. If you think of somebody like Dali, the painter, before he ever put 2 or 3 brush strokes on a page and sold it for millions and was hailed as a new avant-garde painter, he was able to paint everything already. He was a master of his craft before he was an artist. Now, what is the difference? Where is artistry? What is the difference? Artistry is when you can now reinvent all of that craft, all of that mastery, and you can now break the mold and bring in innovation in a way that has just not been seen before. It means that you can break boundaries, break barriers, create things that just haven't been known up to this point. Your artistry is where you take what you do and you really pour into it your own true self, personal expression. Well, you could say to me, people are able to express themselves before they get to a vocal mastery level. You know, they don't have to be able to sing from the chandeliers or do every sort of vocal trick known to man to become an artist. And I would say, absolutely. So what's the difference? What is mastery then? Go back. Mastery is not always being able to do every vocal trick. It's being able to master the level that you're at and what you need it for. So if somebody's a punk rocker and they go to artistry, it's going to look very different than if somebody is a colorator or a soprano and going to artistry. So let's have it in context of genre as much as anything else. So with artistry, artistry is a pinnacle. Artistry is where you could create anything because you can put your voice to anything. You could sing anything that you want to within the realms of what you want to sing. There's nothing now that you need to learn in order to master your craft. You've reached it. So what do you do then? You do like John Bon Jovi said in an interview once. He was asked on TV, what was the highlight of his career? When did he know that he'd made it? And what was really interesting was his answer. You see, he looked at the interview and he said, well, the thing is, I have had incredible highlights to my career. There has been this gig and there has been that concert and there was that album and there was that #1 singer. And they have been incredible highlights to my career. He said, but if I felt that that was the top of me, the top of all I am, just to get to those pinnacle moments, if that was all I was ever aiming for, then what's the point of continuing? And he said, the thing is, there's still more in me left to give. There is still more in me left to explore. You see, creativity is the impossible made possible. It is the unformless energy that flows through life, coming through you in your ability to actually create at a level further than you have before. So often we think that mastery is about making it. And that once we've either, created a career, an album, or even when some people have missed the boat entirely but have a passion for singing and they go, oh, look, I just don't want to be famous. I just want to just feel better at karaoke. And that's absolutely fine. But the interesting thing about that is behind that, there is often a hidden genius of a person wanting to get out. So could somebody get to artistry who doesn't get famous? Absolutely. Because artistry is about going for your full expression, whether that is seen by millions of people or by a few minutia of people. Whether you never do anything with it or whether you express it to the world, At some point when you're singing, you're going to want to feel as if you have given your all because you can. And that's the place of artistry. That's the place where we're looking at pressing the Find Me button and finding your unique expression in the world with the music you write, with the characters that you create on stage, with the voice that you have, with moving genres, with moving careers, with being and pulling together all of your life's work. So, of course, artistry is not gained on stage 1, 2, or 3, and rightly so. When people get the final sort of accolades for what they're doing and they have become an artist in what they're doing, and that doesn't necessarily have an age thing, you know, artistry, I've known violinists that are artists at 25, they are they've so found their full expression. And then other times, like Strauss, you're writing your last and greatest works at the age of 80. So it's not necessarily an age thing, and it can be at the same time, but it's always a decision. It's a decision that you will go forward and you will just not stop. If you take time off the table and you just decide to take another step and another step, you will at some point reach the pinnacle of artistry. How do I know that? Well, for sure, if you decide that you are a singer in your blood, whether you're singing professionally, whether you're not singing professionally, if you're an artist in your blood and that's where you're going towards, whether you hit 1 million records or whether you write a song and you just play it for your grandchildren, you can find your own artistic expression and move towards stage 4 artistry by simply taking another step and another step, and it will lead you there. It's designed to. So in wrapping up, we're talking stage 1 competence, we're talking stage 2 confidence, we're talking stage 3 mastery, and we're talking stage 4 artistry. Where do you sit in that? Where do you aspire to go? Where do you aspire to go but you're too afraid to admit it? Where do you know that you've been pushing for, but you're happy to stay at a different level, take the pressure off, because actually it's more about a different level of enjoyment for you now? There is no right and wrong. There is no reason to go to any other level other than there is a little nudge on the inside of you that pushes you forward, that little voice of wisdom that's going, come on, take the next step. Come on, it's time to step into stage 1. Stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And we're often used, I know oddly, we're often used to using these stages in the medical term in terms of, you know, maybe things like cancer or having some terminal disease. What if you looked at those stages of being terminally passionate about what you do? In other words, it is a foregone conclusion that you are simply not going to stop until you have found your full true expression in yourself, and all you ever need to do is take the next step. So what's the next step for you? It could be to simply just hang out watching more of these videos, allowing that to just seep into your mindset, and then take another opportunity that could be around you. It could be to join a choir. It could be to just download some vocal exercises. It could be to watch some live YouTube videos of exercises. It could be to come in and join the academy and start the process of moving towards confidence and competence in those manners. And then you're learning how to actually, you know, find your own little goals and visions and challenges and stretches that push you at just another step forward at a time. So I'm getting passionate now. So is it that actually you need to go beyond that? Are you already confident that you really need to make a decision that's going to shape your destiny? You see, there is only today, there is not tomorrow. And whilst we're always saying, I'll do that tomorrow, we must realise that tomorrow is not a day of the week. And one day, the saddest thing for me is to always wait and listen for people that come to me in their 30s, 40s, 50s and say, I gave up because life got in the way. I didn't take that opportunity. I thought it was too late for me. I thought because I'd failed once that I had just failed, or because, you know, I'm not with the in crowd, or I'm not with the right teacher, or I didn't take the right route. None of that is terminal. None of that needs to stop you. All you simply need to do, and I have walked hundreds of people through this, is to understand what your process is, your plan is, where your next step is, and the one or two key areas that you can be accountable to, and I can help you walk through to get you to that next level. So follow that inner nudge on the inside of you. If it's time to contact me, do so. If it's time to jump into the academy, do so. It's time to stop putting things off, okay? It's time to stop, you know, buying another of this or another of that when you've already got 14 of them in the wardrobe, just because that's the habit that you've got into. And then we say we've got no time and no money. I know, I'm quite fearless in my coaching because, you know, your whole voice, your whole dream, your whole passion, it's truly at stake. It really, really is. You can have what you want if you know what you want. And you can go through all of those stages, and it can be the most enjoyable adventure to find your voice, create your, you know, creative expression in the world, enjoy every portion of your singing, and even leave a legacy after you're not here for others to be able to step onto the ladder after you. Where will you go if you really step in? And why are you stopping yourself from going there? It's time. So I'll be back next time with some more videos of how you can overcome resistance, get your music out, and sort your mindset out, and be mastery over your voice and over the things that you want to do. Have a great time.